involving wave clear or ganks. Or you can just pick Hammer, Murky, and split push top lane all game until you lose. That was Braveheart's last foray into Dragonshire. There's the Abatha ban. Okay, that's a very unique ban. Maybe they know something that we don't. Apart from Braveheart playing very peculiar styles. Illidan ban, that's relatively standard. That opens up Zero Panda for the Sonya or the Thrall, or any other strong solo laner they wish to secure. That's a camera shot of nothing. Good job. Oh, he looks really happy. Nice. Good job. They picked first pick Falstad. It's nice to have some global presence on this map as well as the solo laners and 4-man rotations because of the ability to instantly fly or burrow or whatnot to one of the shrines and cap it very quickly for a swift Dragon Knight after a kill. We have the Sylvanas, who's reasonable wave clear and good pushing power with the Dragon Knight, also just a strong range DPS in general, and Thrall is going to be the solo laner of choice for Braveheart. They also pick up Dahaka, who is reasonable wave clear, but is mostly picked up because he's a strong solo tank with global. And Tassadar could be the solo support here. Maybe not. Could be. We'll have to see what the other picks are going to be. Zeratul ban is interesting coming out of Braveheart. There's been a lot of Zeratul bans today. And the only team that normally picks Zeratul picks like... It's either like one of the really top Chinese teams who play standard Zeratul, or it's YL playing cheesy Shadow Assault Zeratul. There's the Murky ban. Because they don't want to deal with anything stupid on this map. I guess that explains the Abatha ban as well. They're just banning anything that could potentially force a non-standard game. I think the only options open for non-standard games now are like Lost Vikings, which Team Liquid would play on this map. Maybe Hammer, but they're not going to pick anything else weird after picking Li Ming. Braveheart going for once a standard comp. Unless they just go solo tank Thrall, which is not unheard of, but haven't yet seen it. Actually, I think we have seen it. That's maybe a complete lie. I think we have seen them do solo tank Thrall, so maybe they'll do that. 2 more picks now coming out from Zero Panda. They need someone who can... That's a lot of global. That's 3 global heroes. They need someone who can now stand up against the Thrall, ideally, in the top lane. Zagara. Okay, there it is. That is an absurd amount of global presence from Zero Panda. That's almost what we did on Gilly stream a few days ago. We also had ETC and The Hunt on that. Instead of... I think Tassadar and Zagara are probably better picks than ETC with Stage Dive and The Hunt for Zero Panda, so I applaud those picks. And Braveheart are picking a standard comp. Is this the real Braveheart? I'm questioning everything right now. So the solo laners are relatively well situated. The Thrall and the Zagara are going to be top lane. It looks like the rotations between mid and bot are going to be maybe favoured towards Zero. It depends what the Tahaka builds. If he builds with BKB style with the Primal Aggression, the wave clear on his Dark Swarm, then I think they're going to be able to match, maybe beat the wave clear of Braveheart in the rotations. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm excited to see how they use this global. 3 global presence heroes versus none. The most global presence you get from Braveheart is going to be Worldbreaker on Thrall, and that's about as global as it gets. Well, looks like the teams are going to be loading up, getting into the game. Is that one guy sat in the audience at the front? I saw you. Right, ready to be deafened. Chinese audio, every time. So yeah, we did just see a Murky ban. That happened. Alright, so here is Zero Panda. I believe the Panda is from Panda TV that's sponsoring them, otherwise they're just Zero Gaming. C on Falstad, XY on Tassadar, top on Zagara, Ale on Brightwing, 6 on Dahaka. Falstad was causing a racket there. Pommy is going to be the Rhaegar for Braveheart, Nan on Muradin, Y74 on Thrall, Chujian, I don't know how to pronounce that name, on Li Ming, and Exia, the original Braveheart member, on Sylvanas. Looks like people are just going to go straight up into their lanes. It's going to be Dahaka, interestingly enough, as the solo laner here, and not Zagara. They're going to be going for a tri-lane instead with the Zagara, which is another option you can do, and everyone says Zero Panda wins 2-0. Unsurprising, to be quite honest. Interested to see how this Dahaka is going to fare against the Thrall. I would assume that Thrall will eventually win that as he gets more talents. But there is the potential for suddenly it being any lane being like a 1v3. Brightwing nearly going down there. A good stun from Nan, but there wasn't any follow-up CC. There was a lot of follow-up damage, but they needed like a Thrall root or something to secure that kill. Maybe a bit of a body blocking or something from the Muradin player, but Brightwing will get away with her life. Falstad, on the other hand, will not. Maybe that rotation wasn't called out there from Zero Panda, but Braveheart are going to take a slight lead. They're going to be rotating between mid and bottom for the gank potential. Nan again with the stun. There's the triple missiles landing, but good retreat there from top. He will be able to get away, and they may be able to get the counter kill on Exia. No, Exia does get away, and that is now... Oh, Falstad's flying in. Maybe he'll get the Exia kill. Instead opting for the Li Ming, who does teleport away to safety. And Tassadar is going to maybe... He does survive. I was wondering if he had any ticks of the Sylvanas poison on him, but he does get out alive. Looking at talents, things are relatively standard. The Chinese Sylvanas tend to enjoy paralysis at 1, so that'll be what we're seeing here. Otherwise, things looking standard. Braveheart being the first to hit 4 with that 1 kill, so maybe they can force something aggressively on top and get a Dragonite off of this. They need a kill though. Exia also opting for the With the Wind, I believe it is, which is the range on Withering Fire. Really good global abuse here from Zero. Well, use of global. Falstad flying in, securing the kill onto Li Ming. They could even get the Muradin kill. Yeah, they do. That is a 2-for-0. So all of a sudden, this could be a Dragon Knight, especially if Exia goes down. Okay, that's a 3-for-0. Some missteps here coming out from Bheart. I think that maybe if they have someone else top lane, they could have secured a Dragon Knight here, but instead they're going to opt to... Pommy is going to opt to B-walk the team who's seeding his towers down. Tassadar is delaying his talent pick at 4. Normally there's a couple of options to pick. One is Leeching Plasma, which gives you a little bit of life leech for every time you basic attack when you have a shield on you. Alternatively, Mental Acuity, which is the cooldown to 20 seconds of the Oracle trait. The vision he gets. I wonder what he's going to be picking. I think Exia might fall in mid again. One more auto attack, but no, the towers will be there to cover. XY is really thinking about this talent on Tassadar. Nan landing the stun here, but there's no follow-up CC once again, so there'll be a bit of damage going on to Zagara, but otherwise we'll be getting out with their lives. Dahaka, on the other hand, is looking for that drag. Looks like he didn't get it, maybe hit the wall or something. Interestingly, Tassadar is opting for the Healing Ward, which is not a talent I mentioned, not normally one we see. But I suppose they're thinking they're going to be in one place for a long period of time, so Healing Ward is going to get some value. And is also thinking about his level 7 talent. Will be Deep Shift, okay. Deep Shift increasing the duration of Dimensional Warp by 1.5 seconds. I believe the Poison will kill Muradin here. Yes. He also wastes his well tap there. So that's down for 100 seconds. Muradin was hoping that his regeneration trait would kick in to override the poison, and then the well would heal him back up, but that's a pretty niche scenario for the Muradin. I don't think he's feeling too bad. Pommy is just bee-walking all the time. Good on you, Pommy. Dragonite secured from that kill for Team 0. Taking down a few towers. The first Dragonite normally only secures a few towers at best. I imagine he's going to take the second tower and rotate to another lane here. Yeah, he's going to rotate down to the bottom lane. Otherwise, teams are maintaining Soak as is. Oh no, he's instead reconsidering. Well, that's because bottom lane he was told, oh yeah, there's no towers down here. You may as well stay mid. So, gonna stay mid with that Dragonite. Poking around a little bit. Looks like he's not getting much work done. Zero are going to be the first to hit 10. Don't think we're going to be seeing any heroics that are too crazy. I mean, Zagara could opt for Nidus Network, and then they'd have 4 global heroes, if they really want to do... Alright. We're doing it. We have adaptation as well for the Dahaka, otherwise things looking standard, Blink Heal, Force Wall, and Mighty Gust coming out from Zero Panda. So we have 4 global heroes, so they're really looking to abuse this global presence by getting picks with it, I suppose. Getting picks with it, firstly, and then using the global presence that you have left over to secure the shrines. It's a pretty cool playstyle, actually. And so far it's working. Kill going down there onto Thrall. I mean, he saw those 3 heroes up there, so I'm not sure why he went back out into lane. Like, he survived the first gank from them, and then went back out to die from the second gank from them, so... a little peculiar. Heroic's now picked up by Braveheart. It will be Wave of Force from the Li Ming, otherwise things are looking standard. Things to remember about Nidus Worm now is it also acts as like a Hall of Storms. You get Hall of Storms level of regeneration while you're in a Nidus Worm, so Zagara never has to half now if there's a Nidus Worm nearby. Braveheart have 5 in this bottom lane now. They're really looking to force this bot lane. They could maybe take some towers with Sylvanas here, but the global Zerg are in top lane and they can rotate down here very easily. Zagara just needs her Nidus Worm to come off a cooldown and put another one down towards the bottom part of the map, and she can hop down instantly. Dahaka can burrow into a bush. Falstad's waiting for this. He's waiting for that Mighty Gust. Looks like he's not going to get it though. There's the Mighty Gust. There's the adaptation popped as well from Dahaka, so he's going to be fully healed up in 5 seconds or thereabouts. And Zagara is just going to appear in the middle of the map, because why the hell not? Looking for maybe the Li Ming kill, but the Thrall is the focus target for most of the team, and Thrall does fall down. The drag goes out there onto Muradin. I think he can Dwarf Toss away. No, it looks like he already used his Dwarf Toss, so good patience from Dahaka waiting for the Dwarf Toss to go first, before dragging. And now this is where the strength of Zero Panda's comp really shines. So they're just going to fly straight to top lane. Someone else is going to go mid, and they can probably get a Dragonite before anyone from Bheart can even contest. And then Zagara picking it up. So now they're going to be looking towards pushing one of the forts down. Looks like most of Zero Panda are already in bottom lane, pushing down that fort, so they're going to opt for a way that forces Braveheart to defend only one of these pushes. So either the Dragonite is going to get value, or the push in bottom lane is going to get value. And Falstad is still split-circling. He's still going to maintain that experience lead. He'll fly in when he's needed, but for the time being, he's not. He's just going to stay there, keep getting XP, keep maintaining that lead. Flying in now just to support the Dragonite. It looks like Zero might opt to push with the Dragonite in the middle now that Falstad's here, but otherwise it seems like they're just avoiding fights as much as they can. A good drag going out onto the Muradin there, but he does have the Dwarf Toss available, will be able to get to safety. Wasn't too much damage to follow up on that drag either, it was just the hammering really. So they get like a fort and a half with this Dragonite, maintaining their 2-level lead. They might even get this kill onto Exio actually. Not quite. Make Brightwing murky again. Yeah. There's that tweet on Hero's Twitter, which is the face swap, which is creepy as hell. These Chinese Dahakas are really getting a lot of value off of this adaptation. It's pretty cool to see. Really good Mighty Gust coming out of sea here. He's going to be able to force Braveheart into a bad position, but the Sundering counter-engage is on point. Even though Braveheart are a talent down, they're forcing Zero Panda back. Tassadar has to use his Dimensional Warp there to dodge the Arcane Orb from Li Ming. But during all of this, Zagara is still just split pushing away. Will be able to escape to safety to the top lane. Now having a 2.5 level lead, Zero Panda. This global presence is just so difficult for Braveheart to deal with. I almost feel like Braveheart should just pick a lane and push it as 5. They have the Sylvanas, so they have that edge, and they're very self-sustainable with Muradin and Thrall as well. That forces a response from Zero Panda to use their global just to come down and defend. I feel like a 5-man push in one lane from Braveheart is going to get more damage done than 2 separate split pushes from Zero Panda because of the Sylvanas. But I think they've lost that ability to now that Zero Panda have hit 16. I believe that is the drag range on Dahaka at 16, so he has the battle momentum for his drag, which is a 1.5 second reduction for every basic attack, and then the drag range. So he's going to have a lot of drags, probably 2 drags per team fight, which is going to be really good. There's the first drag going down onto Muradin. He gets completely evaporated, and there'll probably be a second drag towards the end of this team fight available now as well. Possibly on Rhaegar, who's ran towards the bottom of the map. Yeah, Rhaegar is totally trapped. He's probably going to start B-walking, because it seems to be that type of player. And there is the Rhaegar falling. There's a question in chat about why Gilly and Zoia aren't casting. They have a very long cast today for the NA qualifiers, which starts at 10 AM Pacific. So they said because they're NA casters, they're going to prioritize doing that. They did try to do both last weekend, and they made it to the end, but it was tricky for them. So they said, well, we will prioritize NA because we're NA casters. So they gave it over to me. Another Dragonite picked up here for Zero Panda. This is going to be, I believe, the 3rd Dragonite of the game for them. And they're just split pushing every single lane again. It's really hard for Braveheart to decide which lane they want to prioritize defending here, because all of the lanes are under threat right now, and all of the lanes can be... The global presence from Zero just means that they can just move to any lane at any point in time, so if one lane is defended too hard by Braveheart, they can just instantly move to another lane. Zagara's now pushing top lane, Dahaka's pushing top lane, you've got Brightwing Tassadar bot lane, and Braveheart is running around as 5, trying to defend one thing at a time. Not really splitting themselves up very well. I really think that this is something that Braveheart haven't seen before. I don't think Braveheart are going to lose to this kind of a strategy again. But it is really cool to see. I believe that's now all 6 inner towers are down on Braveheart's keeps. Keeps are under threat now as well. I don't think they're going to get this top keep somehow. That's going to be too heavily defended. They need to leave now, otherwise Sundering will catch them out of position. Dahaka may be in trouble, but otherwise things should be okay for the team. There's the adaptation. He's going to look towards burrowing himself soon. And he's back up to full health again. Yeah, if you time the adaptations well, you can really get good value off of that talent. It's really cool to see this from the Chinese Dahakas. Falstad, meanwhile, is pushing the bottom keep down, so Braveheart are engaging this pretty hard, but they are sacrificing health on their keep for this. Now Falstad flies in, he has the Mighty Gust, he's going to push everyone out to the out of position towards the hedges, forces the Ancestral Healing out onto a Sylvanas, which is not the target you ideally want to Ancestral, and Muradin does fall first in this fight. Really good barrel roll there from Falstad, just barely dodging out of the range of that Feral Spirit from Thrall. And Zero Panda are about to hit 20. Are we going to see Broodling Nest? No, it's going to be Bolt. Okay. Bolt on Zagara. We do have Apex Predator though for Dahaka, so he can burrow every 10 seconds. Which is pretty cool to see. We also have the Hardened Focus on Brightwing, which is a more unique talent, but that's going to give her Far more abilities for every single team fight they're in. Multiple polymorphs, I would imagine. Really good sundering coming out from the Thrall, actually, but looks like there's not much follow-up as Moradin was just respawning. Darker is forced to burrow. He might be the first to fall in this fight. Adaptation is popped, and he will actually get the value off of that, so... half health once again. Braveheart did secure their own siege camp, but this is looking really grim. Once again, like, Dahaka can almost solo cap the Dragon Knight. Once he gets 20, an Apex Predator, he can basically solo cap Dragon Knight. Just him on his own with no other global presence heroes, but they already had Brightwing bottom and Falstad was mid, so his Dragon Knights are getting capped so fast. Everyone else is already bottom for Zero Panda. They already still have those Siege Giants as well. The Keep is half health, so they're looking for... this Keep is dead. With a kill or two here, Zero Panda are looking for core. That's potentially the kill. There's a drag into the polymorph on Moradin, the Force Wall as well. That Ancestral was so close. That was a rewinded polymorph there as well, so that was really good CC chain. The drag into the polymorph, into the other polymorph. There's another drag. Wow. 6 is getting really good value off of this level 7 talent. I think Zero Panda top is getting a little bit too aggressive there, tanking on the Zagara, but it looks like this should be game if Zero Panda decide to right-click the core. I mean, they've been like scrapping around for a while, but I think they can just win if they right-click core. Maybe they're just wanting to demoralize, just be flashy. I really think they should just go core, though. I think they're just showing off at this stage. And it looks really cool, so I'll give them that. GG. That was a really cool draft by Zero. That was really cool. I didn't realize with the Zagara pick that they would have had 4 globals as well. They made really good use of that global presence that game. That was amazing. I really think in Braveheart's shoes, though, they could have responded to that with just a strong 5-man push in one lane. After they got level 10 and just forced the globals to stay in one place. I think that's an option that they didn't try. So it would have at least made the game play out differently. Whether that would make it play out better or not, I'm not sure. But I feel like with the Sylvanas, that would make their split push more valuable. Or the 5-man push, rather, more valuable. And that was also a game where Zero banned Abatha and Murky against that comp. They picked the 4 globals with Nidus Worm, banned Murky, banned Abatha. I think it's time for the Murky Hammer, Braveheart. You did it yesterday. You can do it again today. I believe. I guess that that game also really illustrates why all of the Chinese casters think that was going to be a straight 2-0. They got 1 kill on Falstad. I think that was towards the start of the game. And that was it. Just the 1 kill. I think if Zero get map choice, they go Battlefield of Eternity. Much like we saw in the last series, if you're the better team and you play well, it's very easy to win on that map. You can normally have heroics by the time the second Immortal is pushing. And the other team, if you're ahead, the other team won't have heroics. That normally means at least their keep dies with the second Immortal. Let's see what the map choice is. Should come up now. Yeah, anytime now. Oh, not again. Okay, so My King was there. This is a sub. They put My King in. And Nan is going out. I don't know why green is bad and red is good, but that's just a consistent thing across the Chinese stream. Nan, I think, was their tank player. I believe you played Muradin in that last game. But Myking is only a support player, which means they want their support player, Pommy, to play something else. Last time they did this, they had him play Murky. Something has been planned for Braveheart, and this is why this second draft is taking a while. Because they need that sixth player to set up. Do you just like first ban Murky as 0? Do you do that? I definitely second ban Murky if they don't like pick him within the first 2 picks. Probably the last map. I don't know what Braveheart are going to pull, but last time it was Murky Hammer. Zero Gaming have already said, yeah, we don't mind banning Murky. That's fine. Can win with a Murky ban. So at this stage you could almost just pick 5 random heroes and give them to Braveheart. Like, I don't know what they're going to pick. Like, last game was the most surprising comp I've seen from Braveheart because it was normal. Yeah, talking for an excessive amount of time. I wonder if Braveheart have won a map this tournament. I don't think they have. Nope, they are 0-6, 0-7 with that last map. So they need to pull something out. Now is the time to start winning. Otherwise they'll fall down 0-4 in their group and potentially getting a 1-4 as their best result. Like, if they win this series and win the next series, they'd be 2-3. I still don't think that puts them in top 4 of their group, though. It'd be close. It'd depend on who they've beaten. And that would require Braveheart pulling out something crazy here that's actually good. What would you do if you were in Bheart's position? You've made the sub. The sub is playing a support role. Pommy is playing something else. He's played Murky already. He B-walked repeatedly in the last game, so he's somewhat trolly. Feels like 0 win by the skill gap rather than the global pickup. Yeah, I think you're right there. She really likes playing with that bit of paper. That bit of paper is mangled. So folded. Yeah, this break's taking so long because they are Setting up that sub. That 6th player. All probably just to go crashing and burning down after they pick Murky again. But it's fine. Last time Braveheart picked a map as well. They picked Dragonshire. That was yesterday. They may have picked Dragonshire again today, actually. Alright, here we go. I'm ready. Braveheart pick Tomb. Alright. So they have some plan. They've subbed their player in. They have to win this map. So this is most likely to win strategy, basically, here, coming out from Braveheart. They lose this map, they lose the series, so this is their, or should be their best strategy, or what they think is most likely to win. If teams are playing standard on Tomb, you normally want some kind of strong 4-man rotation with heavy wave clear, and a solo laner to sit in bot lane. Asmodunk for sure? I want to see Asmodunk. I would totally see Asmodunk. I mean, this is the map. This is Asmodan's map, if you're going to do it. This is the map. Zero Panda get first pick, first ban. Might be a Zul first ban. Zul or Sylvanas, maybe. Often it's been Sonya and Illidan, but Zul and Sylvanas valued highly on this map as well. Okay, there's the Zul ban. Do Braveheart want to give Illidan to Zero Panda? That is the question. Because I'm pretty sure Zero would just first pick Illidan if it's not banned here. Oh, there's the Illidan ban. Opens up Zero Panda for a lot of first picks. Thrall has been the most common one of today. Although Zero did pick Falstad, I believe, first last time, which is also an option here if they enjoy that global presence with the Gust. It's a pretty small map, but he's still a strong hero regardless. Sylvanas going to be the first choice though. She has exceptional value in general as a ranged DPS, also with pushing with the objectives, so solid choice for this map. Also good wave clear. The silence. China definitely enjoy her. Opens up Braveheart to pick up some really strong damage as a counter pick though, like Thrall is still open, Greymane, Sonya, Kael'thas. It could even go one of those with like a Rhaegar or an Uther if they want to guarantee their choice of support. There's the Thrall. Gonna be their solo laner. Sometimes this is picked up with a Rhaegar, just to guarantee that support, because otherwise Rhaegar would, or Uther might get picked up and banned. There's the Rhaegar pick. This almost forces Zero to pick the Uther here, otherwise Braveheart would probably ban it. So if they want Uther, now is the time to pick it for Zero. This also opens up Zero to get their tank of choice, if they wish to have a specific tank, as well as picking their specific healer. In previous series we've been seeing ETC and Uther picked up here. But that Dahaka play from last game was pretty good, so I wouldn't mind seeing more Dahaka, but there's ETC. And Uther, alright. Hopefully they make better use of this combo than X Team did in the previous series. So Braveheart get the option to ban now. Any kind of secondary frontliner might be a good option to ban, or a ranged DPS, Li Ming, Kael'thas, Zeratul if they're afraid of him. Braveheart also, remember, sub this player in, so they have some crazy plan. Falstad going to be the choice of ban here. The Falstad play was pretty on point last game, so a reasonable ban here. And Muradin is the main counter tank to ETC right now, so that forces Braveheart into a less conventional tank, I use very loosely. Dahaka's still a really solid tank. Diablo is sometimes chosen by these players as well. Tyrael is also another good option, so there's plenty of tanks still open for Braveheart, and it looks like, sadly, no Cho'Gall. At least not for Braveheart. But Braveheart again going with a relatively standard comp. They could still go like Bloodlust, Earthquake, Nidusworm, but relatively standard. I wonder what the players they've subbed around are playing. There's Kael'thas and Zeratul, so some really good control coming in the last two picks, high damage. Yeah, Gilly and Zoia didn't want to get completely wrecked by the end of casting NA qualifiers. And based on that combined with the quality of the games they casted yesterday, they were not too impressed with the games they were casting, as you could probably tell by watching. So Johanna going to be the last pickup for Braveheart, so some good solid wave clear. It looks like Braveheart are going to be focusing mostly on rotating between mid and top, leaving their Zagara, I would assume Zagara, in bottom lane soloing. Getting a lot of gems, clearing the waves out fast. And Zero are going to be focusing more on the ganks. They have the Uther into, or ETC into Uther stun. Kael'thas can chain off of that as well. They're going to struggle a bit laning against either the Thrall or the Zagara, so maybe they hard gank that lane a lot with the Zeratul. Zeratul can be used to keep the Zagara in check. But Braveheart need to win this map, they're down 1-0. If Zero win here, which they're more than likely to, based on predictions and polls and whatnot, and how teams play, then Zero will win 2-0, and Braveheart falls 0-4 in series in this group. Not winning a map. Alright, definitely China. Do it. I'm ready. I even turned the volume down and it still got really loud. I mean, you say it's only fun when it's Isar, MVP, and Edward Gaming. Those are the good teams, but I still think it's fun watching some of the other teams. Just seeing how crazy they decide to pick. Alright, so we got C on Sylvanas, XY on Kael'thas, top on Zeratul, Ale on Uther, and 6 on ETC. Wow, that went away really fast. Pommy was the Rhaegar from last game, I believe, is now on Li Ming. We have My King now on, he's the sub player playing Rhaegar, and the rest of the players, they just disappeared. QMTV74 was playing Thrall. What were the other two? Exia was on Zagara, and I guess the tank player was on the tank. Gonna be a bit of a scuffle in mid, but no one getting locked down. Kael'thas is opting for the, what is that talent name? Mana Addict? There we go. Johanna might get caught out here. Yeah. Uther secures the kill with the Wave of Light, so good job, Uther. It's always nice when supports get the kill. Yeah, so Mana Addict has been combined with Arcane Barrier. It's now a questing talent. It works as before with the globes, but if you get 25 globes, you also then get access to Arcane Barrier, which you could get as late as level... You could, like, never get it, or if your team helps you get the globes, you could maybe get it by, like, 8 minutes in. Maybe 9 minutes in. Interested to see how well he gets those globes this game. Will be the Sylvanas laning against the Zagara as well, so I imagine that matchup has improved since previous patches with the Hunter Killer nerfs and the Sylvanas buffs, so Shouldn't be too bad for Sylvanas down there. Looks like Braveheart are winning the rotations here, but they weren't even opting to rotate to top there. They're almost waiting for Zero Panda to go first. They could have been up here circling top and doing stuff top for a while, but Panda were there first, so maybe that's why there's a slight XP lead. Johanna getting chains down for a little bit, but she should be able to get away. I believe Iron Skin is still up as well. Not this time, though. Oh no, it was still up. Alright, sweet. She gets away. Asian tournament? Yes, this is China. I believe that is... What's the blue talent? I believe the blue talent is cooldown reduction on the gravity lapse. I don't remember the name of it. But I believe it's when you hit a hero, its cooldown is reduced by 7 seconds? Possibly? It'll be comboed with Gravity Crush at level 7 to get that extra damage spike for Kael'thas. And again, the Lost Soul for Sylvanas gets a huge amount of teamfight value with that talent. You have the dagger up every few seconds instead of every 12 seconds. Zeratul is also opting for the Master Warp Blade, so getting that burst damage every third auto attack instead of the more common American or European Warp Blade. I don't think we'll be seeing Shadow Assault somehow, because he's still opted for the Regen Master, but we'll see what he picks at level 7. Both teams have turned in around about the same amount of gems, and they also have around about the same amount of gems in their bank as well, so turn-ins will be happening probably around level 7, but a very hard rotation from both teams now coming into bot lane. Looks like Zagara's going to be the pick of choice as she gets completely obliterated. Rhaegar might even fall there as well. No, he does get to safety. So that's a really good pick off there for Zero, as they will get level 7 first from that, and that will give them the time to turn in the gems they need as well. They have enough to turn in, but ETC is waiting for people to get out of position. There's the power slide, there's the follow-up Uther stun. Looks like the towers were a bit too much for Zero to dive into for that Rhaegar, but otherwise a really good gank, I think. As good as it gets without getting the kill. There's the level 7 coming in, so let's see what Zeratul ends up picking. Follow through. Okay, that's relatively standard. If we saw Searing attacks there, we might consider Shadow Assault, but should be follow through. Follow through is normal. We also now have Unstable Poison for Sylvanas, so she's opting for the extra wave clear. All of the talents at that tier are wave clear, but Unstable Poison is more specifically better at clearing waves, whereas Barbed Shot is better at helping, or is better at dealing with bosses, the web weavers, that kind of thing. Oh dear, if Johanna dies here, that is an awful lot of gems. That is a huge amount of gems going down the drain. Zagara picks up 20 of them, but the other 16, they look like they're going to be guarded very heavily. Nope. Yiming does end up picking them up. So, just the death. Gems aren't lost. That's a lesser evil there for Braveheart, but still not great. During all of that time, Zero Panda do secure the turn-in as well. Looks like Braveheart are going to focus on just defending one at a time. Zeratul is looking for that weak Thrall, but it's going to be pretty hard to gank a Thrall, but he's still going to try it. Well, it's not on my end. That's the Observer. Well then. We're going to need to wait for that Observer to restart their computer, maybe? Definitely the game. Don't worry guys, Heroes is ready for release. It's going to be out of beta very soon. Going to have a full list of features. Grandmaster. So, what were we? We were like... Should be back into the game soon, TM. Braveheart need to win this map to stay in the series. That would also be the first map they've won this season if they win it. There we go. That was a bit sudden, but we're back. And suddenly... Alright, I don't... So when we paused, we saw 5 members of Zero Panda alive. When we unpaused, 3 of them are dead. So there was a gap there where... Oh well. Should be back into the game soon, TM. Braveheart need to win this map to stay in the series. That would also be the first map they've won this season if they win it. There we go. That was a bit sudden, but we're back. And suddenly... Alright, I don't... So when we paused, we saw 5 members of Zero Panda alive. When we unpaused, 3 of them are dead. So there was a gap there where stuff happened which caused those 3 to die. It looked like the mid team who killed the Web Weaver rotated down the bottom and caught some players out of position. But either way, Zero Panda do hit 10 first. A little bit before Braveheart, but the heroics appear to be standard on all sides so far. More instantly used to try and save Zagara, but that's not going to be the case. 24 gems going to go down the drain there. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful with your Devouring Maw. If you think... You can use it sometimes to save yourself, but if you die after using it like that, then you just shouldn't have used Devouring Maw in the first place, because Zagara's back up with more on a 90-second cooldown. Looked like Thrall was maybe considering Earthquake there. He didn't pick a heroic for a very long time. And Sundering is normally the go-to, every time. Like, Earthquake is good, but the potential 5-man stun with a large amount of damage that also procs your self-healing is generally going to be much more reliable than the slow. So the gem counts are a little bit buggy. I believe that still means that Zero have 35. I believe the left, even though the left number is red, that corresponds to the left team. So it looks like that adds up with Pommy having 20. Yeah, okay. So Braveheart have the gems to turn in, and they're going to use this night camp they got in mid to try and distract Zero from both turn-ins. But Zero also having both of their melee heroes watching that turn-in, so good discipline there from Zero. Again, Braveheart are trying to use this giant camp to try and buy time for Johanna to turn in top lane, but again, Zero had that discipline to watch that top turn in as well. Really well done by Zero here, stopping this turn in repeatedly. As I say that, you had one job. One job, top. I think it would have been better for top there just to sit in the bush and watch the minions top lane die. He'd still get the soak. He'd get the gems and the globe eventually. That was a missed blessed shield. She saw the Zeratul there, but missed the blessed shield, so... A little bit trigger happy there. That's normally forgiven if Johanna picks battle momentum, and she didn't, so that'll be down for a full 45 seconds now. The unstable poison really helps clearing the minions around these web weavers. They no longer help blow up the web weavers themselves, but it still normally just removes the wave to just being the web weavers, which are much easier to kill on their own. first game was a stomp, and worth watching because it was pretty cool, in my opinion. Looks like Panda will get 13 just before Braveheart, but once again, it's just going to be a matter of seconds here. They can't really make use of this window of time when 13 was had for Zero but not for Braveheart, so talent's picked up. We're going to have Life Drain for the Sylvanas, giving her a little bit more teamfight sustain. Combos well with the Lost Soul at 4. Gives her a lot of reasonable self-sustain. Hopefully that allows Uther to prioritize healing the Zeratul or the Kael'thas or the ETC instead of the Sylvanas. This Thrall has a lot of Feral Spirit upgrades as well. I'm not sure what most of these do. Normally this is a build we don't see. I believe the one at 7 is a increased duration. There's also Earth-Living Enchant for Rhaegar, so that is a heal over time applied to targets he chain heals who are below 50% health. And Thrall could have done with that as he got completely annihilated by the CC of Uther and the rest of his team. A really good VP to start that fight, but probably miscommunication between the Sylvanas there because the Wailing Arrow got completely missed, but overall, I think even with all the heroics getting completely disorganized, it looks like Zero are going to come out of that on top. As I say, that Sylvanas does get lost and loses 19 gems, but Zero should still have enough to turn in on their remaining heroes. Braveheart is going to use this opportunity to turn in. They don't see themselves being on the map apparently any more useful. Maybe they're thinking that they might get picked soon. So it's going to be useful just to turn those in. Get some pressure. The threat of them having a turn in that spawns Web Weavers is going to be a little bit sooner. Zero have this turn in though. They just need, I believe it's Kael'thas to turn in. Yeah, Kael'thas has the banks. 26 gems on Kael'thas. But they should have enough heroes who can zone for him. Between Zeratul, Uther, and ETC, they can just stand out in front and stop people from coming in. I think Kael'thas should probably try and sneak it top instead of Sylvanas. Yeah, okay, they are now going to the top turn in. Kael'thas is going to try and sneak that in. ETC is still watching for people bottom. Just the melee is sitting in the bush there. But Kael'thas did get interrupted towards the top by Li Ming, so he doesn't get that turn in. Although that is a very favourable life trait there, as most of Thrall's life is going down, along with his well tap there, so he has to tap the well, but he will be back up to full health very soon. Mosh Pit is going to be back up in 10 seconds, so soon 6 can move in with that. Try for that large Mosh Pit. There is a lot of interrupts between the Sundering, the Blessed Shield, the Condemn, the Wave of Force, the Maw. But the threat is what's most important. Especially now that Web Weavers are here. Looks like they're going to start focus on the top lane for the most part, with Sylvanas considering split pushing bottom. But it looks like all 5 are going to meet at level 16 in the middle of the map and instantly blow up Thrall without even using any heroics there. So this fort is completely forfeit. I imagine all 3 forts are going to fall here for Braveheart. Top lane maybe not, but that can be easily rotated on very shortly by Zero. 16 has rolled around, so we are seeing, I believe that is Echo Pedal from ETC. It's either that or Speed Metal, but I think it's Echo Pedal. We're also seeing the Unstable Affliction from Sylvanas, which applies a movement speed slow to targets afflicted, to heroes, I believe, afflicted by the poison, up to 30%, and Stone Skin from the Zeratul. So he's saying, I'm doing enough damage as is, and I respect the fact that you have a lot of damage on your team to blow me up. Otherwise, you generally consider the double bombs or the Rending Cleave. That was a really strong Web Weaver phase for Zero there. They got 2, nearly 3 forts, some inner towers as well, which are generally worth more than the fort outside them anyway. And that's a 1.5 level lead. Braveheart do at least get 16, and that's blood for blood on Thrall, so this Thrall build just keeps getting stranger and stranger. We also have the hammer for Johanna's Condemn, so a little bit of extra damage. She's content that she doesn't need any defensive talents. She gets the spinning hammer instead. We've got the mirror ball, so I believe that's mirror ball. So the brood expansion and the Earthgrasp totem. Zero are feeling confident enough to just walk in here and take this merc camp. Potentially risky, but I mean, if they have the confidence to do that, they can. They have the mosh pit up. The only heroic they're lacking is that wailing arrow. And they do remove that resource from Braveheart. It's not going to do much damage, but it removes the option from Braveheart to take later for the next 3 to 4 minutes. They could now rotate to the bottom part of the lane and take the giant camp to cover a potential turn-in future, or they could just turn in right now. It looks like Braveheart are playing very reserved. Braveheart really need that sort of money flank, sundering, or a really good maw. Those are probably what I'd look for as a comeback option for Braveheart, which are very viable. There's a lot of places to hide as the Thrall, or the Zagara if you want to hide for a maw. The Blessed Shield can help you set those up as well. Even the Earthgrasp totem. Looks like the mosh pit is a very real possibility here. A very good wailing arrow, not even a very good void prison actually. The wailing arrow was also used. That was really good. Just overall, they used the void prison to split the team up, silence the remaining members. They didn't even have to use the mosh pit there. They're going to use the mosh pit now, maybe? Don't even need the mosh pit now. That's 3 down so far. Just wish you could hear the match. I hear the match. I can turn it up a bit, but... there you go. So this may be multiple keeps going down here. It looks like Zero are going to force this top one down with the Sylvanas. Thrall has the potential to do a Sundering, but there's not going to be much follow-up. So he doesn't He doesn't go for the Sundering there. And that keep does give Zero level 20. Going to be the Master of Flames again for Kael'thas. Combos well with the Fission Bomb. Also, the melee-heavy nature of Braveheart's team forces them to clump up a little bit more. And that will be all 3 forts, or all 3 keeps, going down for Braveheart. And Zero Panda are looking to end the game with the boss. Braveheart could potentially contest it, but they need to fight down a talent while most of the cooldowns are used on this boss. And this is... Braveheart must win this fight. And they don't. The Void Prison stops most of the engage coming in. ETC is looking for a mosh pit now. 2 members caught in the mosh pit. The other 3 are already dead, and that's game. So Zero Panda will be advancing 2-0, or winning 2-0 in this series. I believe that puts them 2-2 in this group. Well, it will put them 3-1 in this group, actually. Yeah, the Braveheart roster change, I'm not sure why they chose to do that, but they were really good at BlizzCon, and then they only kept Exia when they changed it over. So... yeah. Not sure why they did that roster change, but it is not working out for them. Braveheart is 0-4 in Series, 0-8 in maps so far in Gold League this season. With 6 players on their roster, picking things like Murky and Hammer in the same map. Well, that does it for me. There will be another cast on this. One important question, Edward Gaming versus Braveheart Super. This match was today. It is over. It is the first match of the past broadcast from today. So you can check that out on this channel, or it'll be highlighted very shortly. Yeah, all of the Gold League is done for today. There will be another cast on this channel starting 10 a.m. Pacific, I believe. It's definitely today. And that is Gilly and Zoia doing the NA qualifiers. Edward Gaming won. 2-0. So follow this channel if you want to see Gilly and Zoia later today. They'll also probably tweet out when they're doing that if things change, so check those Twitters. Zoia will be solo casting Gold League Thursday and Friday of next week. If it's on Saturday and Sunday, he'll also be solo casting that. I think that's everything. So I will see you guys next time.